Hey everyone, Izzy and MJ from Endless RVing. We're out on a beautiful day in Maryland.
Gorgeous.
So nice out. Let me move this a little bit. Perfect. So we have a news update. Two major RV dealerships, Camping World and Lazydays RV, they are taking big losses, slashing prices on inventory with the goal of moving inventory and trying to move forward in 2024. So we're going to talk about exactly what's happening and why this may be of interest to you, the buyer.
So this comes from RVnews.com and it's dated November 8th of 2023. Camping World rigorous on aged inventory purge. Camping World President and CEO Marcus Lemonis has basically said he's going to accept these fourth quarter losses. So starting the model year 2023, Lemonis said Camping World had over 16,000 RVs from the 2022 model year. Today, the dealership has less than 100.
Now, this may or may not make sense depending if you know about RVs. So 22s are actually about 2 years old right now. Now, let's get into the 23s, which are a year old at this point.
Right. So the Camping World stores have fewer than 11,700 RVs from the 2023 model year, and Lemonis expects the total to drop to around 9,000 by the end of this year.
So by the end of this year, they'll have 9,000 approximately one-year-old RVs out there. As you may know or may not know, the 24s usually start being announced early summer. They hit usually late summer, early fall is really when they start hitting the dealerships. Lemonis said 2024 is arriving quickly, and the cost of those units in our store segment are coming in more than 12% less. He also is quoted saying, "Our investment in the inventory management strategy, our team feels is absolutely necessary." They were looking to get rid of as much inventory from 23 as possible. So Lemonis has basically said that they're willing to take losses on clearing that inventory because they're making money in other ways.
Like him or not, the guy knows how to make money, that's for sure. So he highlighted that Good Sam will exceed $100 million in business contributions for the first time actually in Camping World history. So strong sales in roadside assistance and extended warranties and vehicle insurance have helped them bring up profits in that way.
And they do have their hands in other things. I know they're starting, or they did start, like a RV rental program, so they have their money in that. So I think it's a smart strategy, right? If something is down, then the other one can make you some money. It makes a lot of sense. Being that Camping World is such a large dealership, we just told you how much inventory they had just looking to get rid of. That gives them a lot of pull with manufacturers. For 2024, the Camping World team is working with manufacturers such as Thor, Forest River, and Winnebago to identify segments and price points that will yield greater volume, bringing down lower price. Because everybody knows the interest rates are really high. RVs in 22, 23 like ridiculously high. So we're starting to see manufacturers starting to produce the lower cost RVs.
So some other ways to cut cost, as you can imagine, and we did another video on this, is cutting out stores. Marcus Lemonis, quote, said, "We have renegotiated leases. We have eliminated locations. We all collectively have been successful in that. We do not want anybody to leave this call thinking that we are going to make more money on the backs of our people. We're going to make more money by driving revenue and then adding costs back in on the people side in a more variable way." Unfortunately, with a lot of these locations closing, you have a lot of people that are losing jobs.
And according to the company, it resulted in about 1,000 layoffs so far. Camping World is by far the largest RV dealership / service in the country, by far. Behind them, way behind them, another very large dealership is Lazydays, and they're also cutting costs.
So this also comes from RVnews.com, dated November 8th, 2023. Lazydays cutting costs as sales slump. So they reported third quarter 2023 financial results of a net loss from a profit in the third quarter of 2022. So let's talk exactly some numbers here. Revenues fell 15.9% from the third quarter of 2022 to $280.7 million. The sales drop resulted in a loss of $5.6 million from a $7.7 million profit in the third quarter of 2022. So let's talk about the sales. So new RV sales dropped 20.7% from the third quarter of 2022, and also used RV sales fell 17.6%.
They also had a loss in F&I revenue, dropped 19.7%. Service and parts revenue fell 8.8%. That's kind of big because a lot of dealerships, depending on how their business model is set up, they make a lot of money in service, but now they're losing in both. So that's not good. As a result of this, CEO John North said, "We have been removing costs from the organization. We have eliminated all unnecessary overhead, renegotiated with key vendors, and switched to lower cost providers in other situations, and made the difficult decision around reducing headcount and modifying pay plans in all of our stores."
They are down to about 100 RVs from the 2022 year. So I'll tell you, you want a good deal, that's probably a good way to move. And about half of their inventory at this point is 2024 model year.
When these dealerships are holding on to new units, they're paying for those units. That's hard because they're paying these high interest rates and they got to move them. Lazydays Vice President of Supply Chain Amber Diller said the company's age inventory includes numerous higher-end motorized RVs and RVs with higher sales prices. Well, that's kind of... People are hurting for money, and the interest rates are crazy. So
absolutely,
if you're looking for a higher-end motorhome and want to get a really good deal, you probably can get a really good deal. I would imagine and looking to move those.
Yes. And she continues, certainly there is a demand for those, but we do believe we are in a healthier inventory position, and we will continue to head into the next model year poised to take advantage of them. North said that Lazydays restocking has been focused on lower and more affordable travel trailers.
He also said, "I think affordability is a theme that is generally talked about across the segment, and particularly with some of our competitors. We said this in many videos kind of leading up to this point. A couple of videos ago, we said there's a breaking point. There is a point where people are just not going to pay for an RV that's gone up 40%, 50% from 2 years ago. It's essentially the same RV, but it's just gone up because of inflation, higher costs, whatever the reason. There comes a breaking point. The breaking point is here. You're now seeing large dealerships that have a lot of influence with manufacturers telling manufacturers, we need to start cutting costs. We need to be bringing more entry level, more affordable. What does that mean for you? Two things. One, if you want that higher end motorhome, there's inventory out there. You can get a really good price on one.
Like we said, if you have cash, that's great because the interest rates are insane.
Right. If you're still at the point where you can't afford those higher end motorhomes and RVs, there will be more affordable inventory coming to market. Now, we've seen this at the 23 Hershey show. I'm sure at the Tampa show we're going to be seeing manufacturers starting to get back into more affordable. We were just at Leo's Vacation Center. We saw quite a few trailers in that $20,000 range, $30,000 range, which a year and a half ago you just didn't see it.
And we saw some used diesel motorhomes that were stellar.
Yep, diesel and gas motorhomes, both of them.
Quite affordable.
If you waited, if you watched our videos telling you to wait, and you're still interested in RVing, this may be a good time to get in. It's probably one of the best times in the last several years to get a really aggressive deal on an RV.
And as always, our PSA, if you're going to get an RV, new or used, always get a qualified third-party RV inspection.
And why do we say this? Because as the price of those RVs go down, so is maybe what they're putting into it as far as materials. You want to make sure that you have an inspection. In the comments below, let us know, what do you think about this? Are you still looking for an RV? Have you bought a new RV in the last couple of months or last couple of years? What has been your experience? That way our viewers know. And if you like videos like this, to the left of us, we'll put our RV news playlist. We'll put our RV buying tips playlist. And for myself and MJ, it's a journey of a lifetime, and we'll see you on the road.